Hello, everyone. Welcome to Managing Your Audience, your most important asset best practice. I'm Kareem with Team.ComPal, your all-in-one solution to build, grow, and sell in one place. So you might have heard this phrase, the money's in the list. And a lot of marketers say that, but what does it mean? It means having a good list. Not necessarily the biggest list, but having quality people in your list, people who reciprocate, people who are interested in what you're doing, and they want to buy your product, who will ultimately, as we say, convert. Now, to do that, you're going to want to have to manage your audience. You're going to want to have to get them segmented correctly, even break down the separate actions they do. And you might be asking, why is managing a list important? Hello. And also, I want to say when you're managing a list, you want to have the best intentions for everybody on your list so you can provide them with what they need. What do I mean by that? Let me share my screen and break down why list building and managing your audience is so important. So when we're talking about list and audience management, why is it so important, especially with email marketing and reaching out to people? Well, you're going to have to take into account your list of products, all the things that you're doing. If you have a lot of bad addresses, maybe they're invalid, say you got a list, or you have a lot of bounce reports and you're having issues with that, it's going to be difficult to manage the data and you're going to have a lot of issues going forward. So this is why we want to manage our audience. We want to manage the different emails and contacts we have from start to finish so we can have smooth marketing campaigns, especially with email and with our overall business. And to give you an idea, there's two key factors I want to look at. First one is bounce rate, and that can be calculated usually in a percentage form. And you have a total number of mails that returned to your email service as undeliverable. You send out some mails, and if you want to know how to do that, you can see the broadcast or follow-up best practice, get an idea. But that's when maybe an email address was mistyped, there was an issue, it's no longer active, whatever it is, you get a bounce rate. Now, a bounce rate does happen, but the bounce rate shouldn't be more than 20%. And by managing your audience, managing your list, you can avoid that percentage. You want to get around 10%. And a case scenario where that's usually more is the server sending mails constantly to an address which doesn't exist, and the spam filters just take the servers being stolen, bought, phished, something like that. But with bounce rate, you want to have it roughly maybe around 10% or lower. It shouldn't go higher than 20%, ideally. Now, we also have unsubscribe. Now, that's when people are getting the mail. It hasn't bounced, but these are people who got the email and maybe they just weren't interested. They opted in. You didn't provide enough value. There wasn't something they were looking for. Maybe they're just not interested anymore. They lost interest and they said, I'll see you later. So the issue here is it shouldn't be more than 3%. Yes, some people are going to unsubscribe. Maybe they just wanted to get the free gift, get something or whatever, and then they'll leave. But you don't want a huge unsubscription rate either. So if you manage your audience effectively, you can avoid high bounce rates, high unsubscription rates, and importantly, you can work with the people who are interested, who are really interested, and get to know them. Because at the end of the day, email lists, audience need to be formatted from time to time to eliminate, bad email addresses, deactivated accounts, and make sure that there's an easy unsub option as well. So if they're not interested, they can go ahead and unsubscribe. But what you really want to do by managing the people who are interested in what you're doing is increase your reputation, increase your conversion, and build a lifelong relationship with people in your business. That's ultimately the goal of what we're trying to do. And by managing your audience, you can achieve that. So when it comes to your audience, it's very intricate what you can do with DotcomPal. You can drill down to the exact details. You can drill down to the exact details, get everything you need, and figure out exactly the people you want and where you want them. What do I mean by that? Let me go ahead and share my screen, and we will get into DotcomPal and managing your audience. So now I'm in the DotcomPal dashboard. We can see this here. Now, one thing I'm going to recommend, if you haven't gone through our broadcast best practice or follow-up, I prefer you do that so you can get an audience in. I do show there how to import an audience, how to import new contacts so that you can get started. And this will be much, much quicker so you can get everything running. So once you have an audience there, some contacts, some information in there, you want to go ahead and click audience here to the left-hand side. And the first thing I want to talk about is segments. We can build segments. We can have it be all the audience, or we can have it be specific people who have done certain actions. Let's say I want to get a segment of people, specifically people who are opting in, people who just use Gmail, people who use a certain type of code, people who are from a certain country. I can do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and type in demo segment and let me show you all the different options we have here. So I'm going to click create. And we can see it's successfully created. So when I say you can drill down to the detail, I really mean it. What do I mean by that? Visitor type. So someone coming in. Do you want to get a new visitor? Do you want returning visitors? Do you want a number of sessions? And you can select the amount of sessions equal to a value. You can get returning visitors or new visitors. And keep note, you can do and or here. If you've ever done programming, you can think of these like stringing the different options together. Like you have one option, you string that with another option, you string it with another option. You can have and or different conditions. You can think of it like that. What conditions do you want these people to do so they can be part of this segment in your list? And then last seen, it can be after a certain date, or maybe after 1 month. And you can even drill down to the minute here. It can be before, it can be within, or you can just leave that there. That's the last time you've seen this person, the last time they've interacted with something. Then we have geofiltering position, and that can be one of a certain country, maybe a certain state, certain city, or none of, if you want to exclude that country. Say I didn't want anybody from a specific country, I could do that. User attributes, and they all must satisfy. Maybe you want people who only have Gmail. Go email here, and you can select equal to, okay, I just want people who have Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, for whatever reason. Acquisition source. It can be that I get them from a landing page. Was it direct or was it a referral? How did I get this? And you can go here and click direct. Behavior. Who did these events? Did they, maybe you want people who visited your website URL, and you can look at our getting started guide to see how to set up a website, or referral URL, time spent on the page. How long were they on the page? And the page, number of page visited, you can actually add a specific time. Here, seconds. You can add the number of pages visited. You can add the URL or whatever you'd like. And then users who did not do these events. So this is the same idea, except it's negative. It's a negation. People who didn't do these things, we don't want them here. We want people who do these specific things and these specific things. You can have someone who, just if you're looking at referrals, you want someone who's just coming through the referral URL, and maybe someone who didn't, come through the website URL. You can even drill it down to technology. You can have desktop, laptop, tablet, Android, iPhone, iPad, or another mobile device. And with browser, you can actually go down and drill it down to Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Opera, or was it another browser? And then OS, operating system. And you can go ahead and select all the different ones I have: Android, Mac, Windows, Linux, iOS, and other ones. So there's tons of options here to play with, going all the way from type of visitor, when did you last see them, their location in the world, the different attributes, maybe their phone number, their email, whatever it is that you'd like to get. You could get a certain area code as well, how you got them, the behavior, the tech, the browser they're using, and even the OS. You can go pretty intricate, and you can drill down there. Then we have contacts. And if you watch our best practices, you can see how to get contacts in here like I did. But you just want to go ahead, if you haven't seen it, and click New Contact, and then enter a name and at least an email here. And then you can enter social media information and tag information if you'd like, and then go ahead and save that. If not, you can click Import. And then what you'll want to do is get your Excel file ready or wherever you have your leads stored. And then first you want to download the sample file here, which I will show you on my screen. This is my Excel file. I have my emails I want to put here from my other, say you have them, saved on a Word doc or on an Excel file. You just copy and paste them here. You can also put name or first name and then last name or phone number and whatever else you would like here. And then you're going to select that file. You can add tags. Make sure you confirm to have permission to this contact list and go ahead and hit save and do the import. And that'll take a little bit of time. Then that will import your list. And then we have, yes, our lists. And these are the different lists you can have. And you'll have the information here, the amount of contacts, the open rate, the click rate, and the different actions. You can also import contacts here. You can edit stuff here, and you can also view your list. And lists is pretty self-explanatory. If you click on new list, you can enter a list. Say, you want people who are microbrewery owners or restaurant owners, and then maybe you want people who opted in. I have a free channel here, or opted into your lead magnet, your free gift. You can also make a name for that. So you can say like free or free video course list, and click create. And then you can go ahead and import contacts. Like I said here, you can either import them one by one, or if you so choose, you can import them in bulk through the Excel file. Then you also have suppression lists, and that's a negative form. That's people say, I don't want to get that email sent out, or there's specific people that I want to block from that list. You can do that as well. So you can think of lists as people you want to contact simply, and I just put suppression lists, specific people that you want to keep off of that list or keep off of a specific email. If you want to email for people who only opted in for your free gift or opted in for something, then you would use the list, and you can put a suppression list for people who did not. Last but not least, we can also add tags, and we can add communication, comments. Someone comments, someone says something. This is how your audience communicates with you, talk to you on different, say I leave a comment on a video page, or I'm talking, or I'm doing something, leaving some feedback. I can see those comments here as well. And that's the breakdown of it. The main idea is you want to really get an idea of who your target market is, break them down into segments, import the contacts, import the contacts through either typing them in, if it's a smaller list, or importing them, which may likely do. You can also export them as well, and then decide who you want to send stuff out to, make a list. You can also make suppression lists and tags, and then communicate with them whenever possible when they leave you some feedback. So right now, I will take any questions if there are any. Basically, managing your audience is going to help minimize a lot of the problems, as I said, with bounce rate and with ultimately people unsubscribing. Because now with DotcomPal, you can drill down to the very nitty gritty, so you don't have to worry about having a list of people who you don't want in a specific category, if you could say it like that, or you don't want in a specific segment. And by doing that, you're going to make it much more organized, much more efficient, and ultimately you're going to help yourself in the future and the people who truly want to work with you. So do we have any questions? Do we have any comments? Any issues? All right, guys. So thank you so much. If you have any questions or problems, me and the team will definitely address those for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Kareem with Team.com, pal, your all-in-one solution to build, grow, and sell in one place.